Ram Krishna Hari. Today we will see the haripath number 19. The song goes like this. Nama Sangeetana Vaishnavanchi Jodi Pape Ananta Koti Geli Dhyanchi. What it means? Vaishnava means Bhakta, Hari Bhakta. Those who have a complete devotion to God, they are named as Vaishnava. Here it has been given Jodi, the wealth of Vaishnava, the treasure of Vaishnava. The only thing which the Vaishnava considered is most important is nothing but Nama Sankirtana. So, the Nama Sankirtana, the value cannot be measured. So that is why the name wealth or treasure house, all these things has been given. But even the wealth can be measured, the value of treasure can be measured, but the value of Nama Sankirtana is immeasurable. So such is the worth the Vaishnava are having. That means the Haribhakta is having. So by this means, just our Guru Jnanadev wanted to insist in our mind that what is the importance and the worth of Haribhava. So that is the first line says, Nama Sankirtana Vaishnavanchi Jodi Pape Ananta Kodi Geli Dhyachi. Not only that, if you have that precious thing in your heart, what will happen? You would have been done tons of sins in your previous births. All this will go away, or all this will washed away for those who are chanting the Hari with full of love or Haribhava. So this is what the first line means. We may assume that how could it possible to get rid of all these sins by just chanting the Haribhava? It is very simple, because you are developing a love towards God. And the moment when you develop the love towards God, you can very easily understand that God is everything. The moment when you start love everything in this world, then automatically you become purified. Your mind becomes completely purified. So the karma, the sins which we are doing, but of course that has been returned to us as a karma. For what? It is purely just for transform us, to realize who we are, to get purified our mind. But if you are able to do that by just chanting the Harinama, then what is the necessity of giving all those karmas again and again? So it is needless. So that is why if you have the Haribhava in your mind, that is the worthless thing, and that will vanish completely all your sins. So therefore we must remember that it is the power of purification. It has the power of purification. The Haribhava has the power of purification, because Haribhava is nothing but a love feel. When you understand the feeling of love feel of God, then automatically you will also immerse and merge into that love feel towards that God. That same moment you will be completely purified in your heart, and that is the reason why you have been removed or washed away from all your sins which you have done from the previous births. We will go to the next line now. Ananta Janmanche Tava Eka Nama Sarvamarga Sugama Haripatha. And now again, this whole song is insisting about the importance of Haripath, Haribhava. And of course in every song he is explaining the same thing, and in this song is also, it is insisting the same. Now what it is? Ananta Janmache Tava Eka Nama. So he is telling that the people who are struggling hard to achieve the liberation, they have done penances from number of births, but still they are unable to progress in their process or in the state of mukti, and even they will get the Haribhava at the end. So Eka Nama, which means what? See, whether you travel in what path, that doesn't matter. But at the end, if you don't catch hold of this particular path, then you cannot going to achieve anything at all. See how simple the Jnanadeva teaches to us. You may travel in any number of paths, but finally, if you don't touch the path of bhakti, then you will not reach the destination. This is what he is telling. Ananta janmanche taba ekhanama. Finally, you are going to have the bhakti only. You are going to feel the God. You are going to realize the God. Even if you in the Jnana Yoga, when you realize you yourself is the God, even then also you are going to have the bhakti bhava towards himself. So without the bhava, you cannot, bhava here means feel. Without the love feel, you cannot going to achieve anything at all. In Jnana Yoga, what is going to happen? You are going to love yourself, assuming the whole world is nothing but you yourself. Even then also, you are started loving everyone in this world, then your heart is getting purified. So love feel is the primary feel which has been insisted in this Haripatha, and it may be in Jnana Yoga also. You should end up with the love feel, and that may be instead of Hari you are going to say for myself, that because you become the Hari that time. So therefore he is telling that the penances which we are doing normally in this yogic path, so yama niyama asana pranayama mudra bandha, so lot of techniques and has been given in the Vedic scriptures, and whatever the things which you follow, it all molding up your mind to just have the love feel. And why our Guru Jnanadev is keep on insisting this particular Haripath means, hey, after all you are going to get the love feel at the end, then why don't you get it initially? Straight away cultivate the bhava towards the God. No need to follow any other path. They are all very hard and time consuming. But here it is not so. Just develop the love feel towards God. Automatically you will end up with the same destination what the others have done for the number of years, number of janmas together. So that is why he is insisting, Ananta Janma Chetaba Ekhanama. After all, you are going to get that love feel only at the end of all the process. Why don't you catch hold of it initially, right now itself? And that is the power of Haripatha. That is the essence of Haripatha, importance of Haripatha we can say. And that is what he is telling in the next line. Sarva Marga Sugama Haripatha. So then how easy it is, just imagine. It is so easy now. Ultimately you are going to have the love feel only. For that purpose you need to do a lot of penances, lot of practices and many hard practices too. But if you are able to chant the Hari with full of love feel, then it is no need to have any difficulties at all. So it directly indicates that it is the easiest path and the fastest path, and therefore why don't you catch hold of it? Sarva Marga Sugama Haripatha. So you may go through various ways and means to reach the destination, but this is the easiest way because in all the other ways also you are going to achieve the same thing at the end. Without achieving this you are not going to do anything at all. So therefore catch hold of this initially. I think this is what it has been explained in this. And now we will move on to the next line. Yoga, Yaga, Kriya, Dharma, Adharma, Maya. Gele te Vilaya Haripati. Now he himself has started explaining what are all the other paths which has been existed to purify your heart. What is that? Yoga means the Ashtanga Yoga which has been given in the 6th chapter of Dnyaneshwari. He has elaborately explained about this yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Tarana, Dhyana. So it goes like this, Samadhi. So in that way, so that is a particular path, one path. And next path is Yaga. Yaga is just a sacrification, sacrifice. We are sacrificing whatever the God offered to us, we are just sacrificing the same thing towards God because we are just showing our love back towards God. But if you don't have a love feel when you are sacrificing, that is not going to yield anything at all. And that is why he is keep on insisting that the love feel is the most important thing. Just to create the love feel only you are doing all these sacrifices and everything. But if you do the sacrifices without any love feel, then it is of no use at all. So that is why he is telling that the path number 1 is yoga and next one is yaga and Kriya. Kriya is a part of meditation. We can say even asanas. See, Kriya, asana, Kriya, which means that a number of physical postures which helps us to purify our heart, to concentrate our mind. So these are all the other paths mentioned, and finally dharma, adharma. So you must know what is dharma and what is adharma based on the scriptures. And finally you must follow only the dharma. You should not follow adharma. So these are all the various paths, and Jnanadev is particularly mentioning here yoga, yaga, kriya, dharma, adharma. Dharma, adharma, almost it will come under a jnana yoga, I think, because it is just need an analysis about what is good and what is bad, and finally we must stick on to go with only the good things. So having been mentioned all these four paths, finally in the next line he is telling that Gele te vilaya haripadi, which means what? See, all these has been merged in the haripath, absorbed in the haripath. So it is not necessary to separately to do all these different practices separately, because it has been already merged in the haripath itself. That means that once you develop the love feel towards God, then it has been assumed that you are doing yoga, you are doing yaga, you are doing kriya, you are doing dharma only. So it has been already automatically assumed, and the reason is it has been absorbed in the haripath itself. The reason we can very easily understand that the aim of all these paths is to purify your heart, and the haripath is straight away purifies your heart, and therefore it has been mentioned that all these various paths have been absorbed in the haripath, and therefore a person who is following the haripath, it is not necessary for him to do all these other practices. And again the same thing has been insisted in the final line, Jnanadevi yajna yaga kriya dharma harivina nema nahi tuja. Now finally Jnanadev declares. See, we know every haripath, in the final line Jnanadev declares something, and now he is again declaring the same four paths. He is mentioning again yaga, yajna, kriya, dharma. So here the only word difference is yoga, yaga, here yajna, yaga. So yajna, yaga, I think more or less similar things only. So kriya, dharma. So all these paths, he is declaring finally, telling that if you do all these paths without the haribhava in your mind, then you are not going to gain anything at all. So therefore he is just insisting that what is the importance of haribhava, the love feel towards God. Unless and otherwise, if you don't have this, or if you don't develop after following this yajna, yaga, kriya, dharma, then what is the use of all these things? Therefore I declare you, just develop the feeling of love towards God, that will give everything to you. Therefore this is my final declaration. Please do, if you want, we can follow yoga, yaga, kriya, dharma, but that also you must follow with haribhava only. Without haribhava, please do not do it. So this is what Jnanadev finally insisting us. Let us follow the words of Jnanadev as a declaration, and this is the end of haripath in this particular song. Okay, thank you to all my friends.